It can be hard to figure out who is a manipulator, narcissistic, cults, or someone you shouldn't trust. That's why I share these 9 mistakes and key actions to avoid these sand traps. Once you're aware, you're in a much better position to act effectively to preserve your mental health. As a reminder, normal influence is transparent and isn't intentionally deceptive. Normal influence seeks to create a win-win. It's a transaction or a relationship where both parties win. Manipulative relationships are designed to create a win-lose, with you on the losing end. Manipulation tactics always include some form of deception and a lack of transparency with a side of low accountability. Cults. Those with narcissistic personality disorder and toxic people have one goal, and that's control. For that reason, I share these 9 common mistakes that normal, trusting, empathetic people make when being recruited, played, or trying to leave a bad relationship. Mistake number 1. Moving too fast during the recruiting phase. In the recruitment phase, highly manipulative narcissistic relationships are designed to be very intense and move quickly. The best way to protect yourself is to slow it down, cowboy. Yes, that new religion wants you to get baptized to show your faith in God, but slow it down and evaluate it thoroughly before you commit. Time is on your side. Yes, that very expensive New Age healing program wants you to move to the gold level, now. But wouldn't it be best to evaluate their offering over time? That new lover is totally into you, dropping hints of moving in or suggesting some other commitment threshold? Slow it down. Time is on your side. Good, win-win relationships will welcome a slow recruitment and commitment process. Deceptive, manipulative situations will always use the urgency ploy. Mistake number 2. Manipulators try to distract you from helpful disconfirming information sources. A New Age cult works to isolate potential new recruits from guests as they pitch them on expensive upsells. Don't allow it. Your hot, new, but manipulative lover trashes your wise friend, so you won't listen to them when they tell you to take it slow or do a background check. Don't allow it. Stay open to all information sources to help you know who or what you're dealing with. A religious leader might trash former members who share honest assessments of the religion as Satan-influenced because they don't want you influenced by them. Don't allow it. Stay open to all sources of information. High-control people go to great lengths to control information because if they are successful, they can control you in other ways. Is it not an accident that cult leader Jim Jones moved his group to Guyana to the middle of the jungle? It was an information and behavioral control move to isolate the group. How else could he exert such extensive control over them? It didn't end well for those who missed the signs. Mistake number 3. Thinking they have your best interests at heart, that they think like you. It's hard to know what's going on behind the eyes of toxic people. You probably seek to create mutually satisfying relationships if you're a normal, empathetic person. Highly manipulative people want to create a win-lose relationship. Their end game is to take as much time and money as possible from you. They might even be bragging about how easily they play you to confidants. I found this out about a partner when she left her emails open to be read one day. Yes, I found out she was having an affair, but I was more shocked at how much contempt she had for me. When people show you how they are, who they really are, plot your exit. This leads us to the next mistake. Mistake number 4, underreacting to deception and unresolved breakdowns. In the case of my deceptive, cheating, contemptuous partner, the signs were there. What signs? I caught her in many lies, and when I tried to talk to her about it, I got gaslighted. Nothing got resolved. It was frustrating, but I didn't want to overreact. What I didn't know then was how bad the relationship was. When I tried to resolve it, I underreacted to deception and her gaslighting games. I noticed the same when I asked a friend about the lies told by his religious leader. I assumed he would know and would be on his way out of this religious community. No. Instead, he doubled down on how his church's enemies were the problem. He had no interest in researching what was obvious to everyone else who had studied this religious leader. Again, when people show you who they are, believe them. Mistake number 5. Take it personally when you experience gaslighting. If you've been gaslighted, it's a wild experience. Up is down, gray is white, and pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. By design, gaslighting is meant to confuse you and to put responsibility back on you rather than where it belongs. I walked away from many gaslighting conversations thinking, maybe I am the problem. Forgive yourself. You were dealing with someone who cannot own their part in a problem. Trying to clarify facts with a gaslighting narcissist is like nailing jelly to the wall. It's not you, it's them. Once you know that you've been the victim of gaslighting, don't beat yourself up. And don't make the next mistake, which is mistake number 6, going to counseling with someone who believes the manipulator's BS. This can be an absolute nightmare. It's bad enough that you're in a high-control toxic relationship. And now the counselor is working for the manipulator. A highly manipulator partner often suggests that you see their counselor. Please don't do it. Your only chance at productive counseling is to find someone who understands the cluster B personality disorders and who isn't likely to have been groomed by a deceitful person. Religious counselors whom a pastor endorses are most likely playing out the beliefs of the religious group. For example, if they believe women should be subordinate to men, this belief will influence the counselor and may render the counseling at best ineffective, at worst, more manipulation. Mistake number 7. Once you figure them out, you call them a narcissist. You might feel like you're helping tell them how manipulative and toxic they are. It won't. Doing so puts you in danger. Once you figure out you're dealing with a highly manipulative person, leave with as little conflict as possible. Once unmasked, narcissists can show a rage you haven't seen. Avoid if possible. Let them feel like they're in control of the breakup, if possible. Yes, they will move into the mode of trashing you to anyone who will listen. Pick your battles. Minimize contact with the manipulator. If you must interact with them, go gray rock or be very emotionally neutral in your responses. Mistake number 8. Staying in contact with manipulative people who use any contact to pull you back. This is the biggest mistake that most people make. Manipulators will do anything they can to pull you back in once they've lost control of you. That's why those escaping high-control relationships are pulled back in an average of 4 times before finally cutting them off. That's why going no contact, or as little as possible, is essential for your recovery and to limit their influence. Going no contact won't feel normal or honorable for most normal, healthy people. Yet, any contact will open the door to guilt-tripping, conflict-triggering, and anything to re-engage you in the relationship. After the 4th time of going through the exit, getting pulled back in and leaving again, I learned my lesson and cut them off completely. It's the only option that works with the manipulators. And finally, mistake number 9, trusting flying monkeys or allowing them any influence in your life. Manipulators or narcissists go to great lengths to influence others to do their bidding. If they can influence a pastor to go after you to get you back in the relationship, they will. Friends, family, associates, you name it, will be recruited by the manipulator because once they lose control of you, their final play is to influence those who influence you. It's so predictable. Parental alienation, the darkest, ugliest act you might see in your lifetime, is when a narcissistic parent poisons the children with lies or half-truths for the sole purpose of hurting you through the children. If they can't influence children, they might try to turn friends, family, business associates, really anyone, to be used against you. Check out this video on how to survive scapegoating. If a friend no longer trusts you because of what a manipulative person said about you, don't make the mistake of allowing a flying monkey to influence you in the least. Of course, you can attempt to set the record straight, but anyone the manipulator takes in needs to take a back seat in your life. With one friend, I explained how difficult it can be to sort through lies from facts, but I could tell he didn't fully accept my side of the story. Peace. But I won't let such a person have access to me, my time, or my energy. I won't make that mistake. After leaving a religion, the local congregation smeared a man to diminish his influence with others who might also leave. It was ugly. While he wanted to stay in contact with the same people who trashed him behind his back, I urged him to create some barriers with them for his own sanity and healing. They weren't to be trusted. Begrudgingly, he agreed. He later thanked me. Dealing with manipulation tactics, toxic people, and the narcissists that cross our path can be challenging. When we're aware of the 9 typical mistakes that many people make when dealing with them, we are on the path to navigating our way to healthier relationships. If you got value from today's video, like and subscribe to the channel.